Yeah, how's it going, guys? It's Sizzle RJ here, and I am back with another strategy guide video. And this time is going to be the defense mission where you basically have to defend the generators and, let the rockets, blast off. But this time it's for the Automatons. Now, we did the Termine one, which I'll link in the description if you want to see that strategy guide, but it's pretty much going to be the same strategy guide with the Automatons, except this time it's just a little bit different. There's definitely a lot more hostiles that you have to be aware of, especially the big little walker that looks like it's from Star Wars. So you definitely just want to be careful of that. I think it's called like a fabricator machine or something like that. I don't know, but you'll see in the gameplay. But for the stratagems, you want to use, again, the mortar turrets. Apologies if I mispronounced that. I suck with my R's, but any defensive stratagem is going to work with you. I think in this run, I used the anti-tank mines, which I honestly didn't really see as super effective in this run, probably because I had the motor turrets as well. But honestly, I probably would just swap that out for maybe a spear or any anti-tank weapon that you can have, because again, remember, you want to take out the big baddies. You want to take out the dropships, you want to take out the tanks, and you want to take out the big walkers, right? And you also want to take out the hulks. You just want to take out everything, right? Now, you don't obviously need motor turrets, especially for this team. I think only about 3 people have a motor, but another thing you want is definitely airstrikes. And as dangerous as it may sound, the barrage also works as well, but I highly don't recommend the barrage because you might end up killing your teammates and you might get some rage heads. So I would just not use a barrage, but if you want to try it, definitely check it out. But I recommend something like a 500 kilogram bomb and anything else that can just lay down some cover fire for you. But yeah. Now, for weapons and grenades and stuff like that, I personally recommend the stun grenades if you have it. But if you don't, I guess you can pick whatever you want, maybe a fire grenade or two, or whatever you want. It doesn't really matter what you choose for the weapons, because all the damage is basically going to be going all the way to your stratagems, right? And that's the key to this defense is, holding down the line and basically using your stratagems. But enough yapping, let's get on to the gameplay. Now I'm gonna yap a little bit more. I know, I apologize, I'm super annoying, but when you first drop, you definitely want to make sure that you are staying away from the generators, okay? Trust me, I have seen it happen before where someone lands on a generator and then you're already down one generator, right? The key to this is to basically keep as many generators as you want, but as long as you don't do that, you'll be fine. And also, please do not touch the terminal, because that will automatically start the defense. And as I said previously before in my other guide, you really don't need to be even activating the terminal, because you just want to give your entire team some prep time, right? You want to be like Tony Stark. You want to give yourself some prep time, or not really Iron Man, I would have to say Batman, but again, just make sure you're setting up your defenses. Now, we're actually not in the front this time, as to the termites, we would be up in the front, but you want to just give the automatons a little bit of room. Now, you possibly could be all the way up in the front if you want, and just try to defend that first gate entry if you want, but again, you just want to give yourself enough room to throw your stratagems and airstrikes, and of course place your motors in the back so those turrets can just target the enemies. And I'm using the expendable anti-tank, if I didn't mention that already, for the stratagems. These are decent, but I kinda wouldn't recommend it for these runs, at least for the automatons. They might be good for the termites, but I would probably have replaced it with something like a spear. Now, they are good at taking out the dropships. If you want to take out the dropships, as you just saw on the screen, you basically just want to, shoot at one of their engines, shoot at one of their propellers, right? And that will automatically bring the dropships down. I don't know how much of a difference it really makes, but again, you just want to make sure that you're putting on enough pressure for these automatons. And that's kind of probably more of the reasons why we didn't even go to the first step up, or at least that first gateway entry, is because it can become overwhelming, especially if, you're not all on the same page. But I'll fast forward a little bit and I'll basically show you the part where you really need to lock in, and that is basically some of the tanks and those big giant walkers, again, that look like they're from Star Wars. So let's just fast forward to that real quick. Surprisingly, didn't really have to fast forward, that much, but here again we have our fabricator, or this is the, fabricator Strider, and this is basically the big bad wolf of the entire defense. It's gonna have a big old mega laser on the very top, of its belly, not the belly, but its top part, and you basically at least want to have a spear or airstrikes, 500 kilogram bomb. Just shoot it, okay? Just pelt it with everything you have. And the reason you do want to do this is because this thing can snipe you. It has happened to me many times, and it can sometimes snipe the generators if you're not lucky. So again, you really want to take those things out as quick as possible. You can use the expendable anti-tanks. You can use, again, like, an airstrike, a laser, whatever you want. But you just want to take them out. They are very, very obnoxious. You just get rid of it as fast as you can, right? And I have seen many defenses fail because nobody can take out those Striders. So again, you really just want to get rid of them. They are literally on the equivalent, I would have to say, of a Bile Titan. So, similar to the Termine defense guide, focus on that and get rid of it. Now, the cool thing is, though, if you kill it in a certain spot, it kind of makes its own little, I guess, blockade in a sense. So, if you have a wall that got damaged or, destroyed, it acts as, like, I guess, a separate barrier for you, Yeah, just a separate barrier. And during this time, again, you just want to keep using all the stratagems you have. So keep using your expendable anti-tanks, and, keep using your motor turrets, keep those coming. And this is, I know, a silly thing as a tip, but again, I've seen it happen a lot of times, but please, and I mean please, reinforce your teammates, okay? Please. Oftentimes, a lot of players forget to respawn their teammates whenever they die, because I know everybody's in the action moment. Feels like a Michael Bay movie. There's explosions everywhere. I get it. It's awesome. But please reinforce your teammates. This is a co-op game, and you need all the help you can get. Oftentimes, it takes people forever just to respawn someone else in. And I think at this point, everybody should already just memorize the reinforcement prompt by heart. But again, please just reinforce your teammates, man. Especially if you have motor turrets and stuff like that. I know a lot of people die by the motor turrets or the airstrikes, accidental deaths all the time. So again, make sure you reinforce them. Please reinforce them. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, and we'll see if we'll find any more Striders or tanks. And again, that's another one you want to take care of, is the tanks, because again, they can kind of snipe as well. So just take out as much as you can. And over here, you saw me reinforce that person instantly. As soon as they died, I'd reinforce them. That's what you want to do. Please, people, please just reinforce your teammates. But we're gonna fast forward a little bit in the clip, and yeah, see what happens. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And by the way, these are called Factory Striders. Thank you, gameplay. But anyway, this Factory Strider is walking in, and yeah, we're just gonna pelt it. Got a 500 kilogram bomb on the way. Sometimes it might not automatically kill, so you might need just a little bit of oomph, just a little bit more. And, like I said, this thing is gonna snipe you. You just want to destroy it. And if you have a spear, the spear can sometimes auto-lock on its top turret, so that might give you a bigger advantage as well. But, once you blow it up, it's boom boom, and yeah, it is quite the mess. Now, this is that kind of blockade I was talking about. You can basically make this, I guess, dead Factory Strider, kind of make it into a wall, and kind of stop the enemies a little bit in their tracks. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but I think it makes a lot of difference. At least in this run it does, because now you kind of have like, I guess, a little temporary wall of just metal that can kind of stop the enemies in their tracks. Now they're getting slightly a little bit close, but we're still doing good. And like I said, you know, in order to take down those factory striders, airstrikes, you know, anti-tank weapons, just anything to pelt it, because those are really aggressive automatons, and you know, you just want to get rid of it because it can ruin a lot of your runs. But pretty much gonna fast forward a little bit more, you know, just to see what happens. You saw me use one of those stun grenades. I also forgot to mention about the boosters. One booster I recommend is the full ammo capacity one. And then another one I would recommend is the localization confusion if you have that. I honestly don't really recommend a certain amount of boosters because I understand that not everybody can have access to some of the premium war bonds and stuff like that. So, you know, for that, I would just recommend anything you want. You know, if you want more ammo or if you want more stamina, do whatever you can. The defense mainly lies in your stratagems, and again, as you can see, it's getting really close, man. It is getting really close. If this ever does happen with you, again, you just want to kind of push back and, like I said earlier, reinforce your teammates. Stop waiting so long to reinforce your teammates, man. Just reinforce them, man. But yeah, as you can see, it is a complete mess. I think even the factory strider just despawned, so much for the temporary wall. But again, you just want to make sure you have a good defense. If you're using special weapons like quasar cannons or I can't even pronounce that right, quasar cannons and, you know, spears, make sure you also keep spawning those in too. I think the spear and quasar cannon has like a 10-minute cooldown or something like that. And I would highly recommend you just keep spawning those in, or at least spawn in an additional one when the cooldown is off, so that way your teammates can also have a spear or quasar cannon as well, or you can pick them up off their dead corpse. But again, here we have another factory strider encounter. I know I'm yapping a lot, but it's all part of the guide. You need to know how to take these things down, and again, you want to pelt it with like anything you got, you know. Just throw 500 kilogram bombs on it, and honestly, you really don't even need the anti-tank mines. I just don't think they really proved much worth in this entire defense at all. It sucks, I know, but again, we'll just fast forward and we'll see what happens. Here we go. Alright, Helldivers, we are back for the final stretch, still holding it down on the front lines pretty good. We actually had one unfortunate player did disconnect, but it doesn't matter because we have evacuated the high value targets or assets, and you know, that's all the rockets. All 8 rockets are gone, and now you just want to haul ass. Like, literally, the mission is over. You have no reason whatsoever to even stay here. Now, for some reason, and these little striders on this left flank decide to fly up here. I don't know why, but don't worry about that. Just get in the shuttle and just get out of here. I know you sample hunters are going to be like, well, Richard, where's the sample? There's no samples, guys. There are no samples on these missions, unfortunately. And like I said, you just want to reinforce your teammates, make sure everybody gets in the shuttle, get that extra, I guess, extraction bonus XP, and just, you know, get out of there, right? But all in all, it's not a bad mission. But it is definitely, I would have to say, way harder. I would have to say, like, completely harder than the Termines. The Termines are just, you know, easy, but the Automatons is just built different. The Automatons are, you know, built different. Now, I'm hopefully sure, like, in the future, we can get some more defensive stratagems and more offensive stratagems and whatnot, you know, more anti-tank weapons and blah, 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 blah. But, overall, though, it's a pretty decent mission. If you have a decent team, they don't even have to be high level, but if you have a decent team that knows what to do and, you know, they are actively participating in it and, you know, they're helping support the team, then you should be fine. I don't think I mean, you could probably do this in two players. I mean, I did it with two players on the turn mines with my friends. I'm not sure for the Automatons, but, you know, overall, I think everybody should be good. I know I yapped a lot in turning this guide, but I really do hope that this does help a fellow Helldiver out there. And, yeah, go spread some democracy, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. And, yeah, have fun.